In China, everything seems to be bigger. Cities, highways, and of course, mega projects. And one project in particular stands out: the largest and most powerful dam in the world. With a reservoir so massive it even slows down the Earth's rotation, the sheer scale of this structure is unlike anything the world has ever seen before. It is an inspiring but dangerous structure at the same time. While it generates electricity for millions of people, it is also repeatedly criticized for being at risk of collapse. But what lies behind it? Is the dam really in danger? In this video, we'll explore one of the biggest mega projects in the entire world, the Three Gorges Dam. The Three Gorges Dam in Hubei, China is really huge. It's 2.3 kilometers long and over 180 meters tall. It blocks the Yangtze River and creates a massive reservoir that's even bigger than Singapore. But what's even more amazing is that it's the world's biggest power station with a capacity of 22.5 gigawatts. To put that in perspective, it's 4 times more powerful than America's Grand Coulee Dam, and even more powerful than nuclear power plants. If it runs at full capacity, it can provide electricity to over 4.5 million people all year round. The big dam was built for 2 important reasons. First, it gives clean energy to lots of people. Second, it stops floods in the villages and cities near the Yangtze River. There are small floods almost every year when it rains a lot, but the really big problem is when there are huge floods that are hard to predict. About 90 years ago, one of these floods killed between 3.7 and 4 million people. So they decided to make a giant dam to control the river. Now, with over 400 million people living nearby, it helps save lives. The Three Gorges Dam stops big floods in places like Wuhan and Shanghai. They do this by holding lots of water in the dam when it rains a lot and letting it out slowly. But sometimes, like in 2010, they had to let water out quickly, and that caused floods and landslides downstream, which hurt many people. Overall, the dam can make the big floods happen much less often, from once every 10 years to once every 100 years. How did they build it? Building something so big over a huge river is very hard, and it took 17 years. First, engineers had to solve 2 problems before they could even start building. They had to stop the water in the Yangtze River from flowing upstream, but they also had to make sure enough water could still go downstream to the cities. To do this, they put walls made of stones upstream, which let workers build the first part of the dam on dry land. They also used special walls called cofferdams to direct the river's water around the construction area. Once the big concrete wall was finished, they added the first turbines. Then they blew up the cofferdams, and the river's water reached the turbines for the first time. In total, the dam cost more than $30 billion. Apart from making electricity and preventing floods, this big project also makes it easier for boats to travel up the Yangtze River. The river is tricky to navigate because it has lots of bends and the water levels can change suddenly. This can be dangerous for boats. But the Three Gorges Dam helps by raising the water levels upriver, so big boats can go through safely. To get huge boats past the dam, they use special locks and a really big elevator. This elevator can carry boats that weigh up to 3,000 tons up 110 meters. It's much faster than the locks, taking only 30 minutes instead of up to 4 hours. Since they built these new waterways, the Yangtze River can now carry 6 times more stuff. And guess what? Shipping stuff down the river is cheaper now. This helps the region's economy grow. Just a little while ago, they said more than 23,000 boats went through the Three Gorges in the first half of 2023. That's 10% more than last year. This place is a big deal, setting lots of records. So, people come to visit. In the last 5 years, around 10 million tourists came here. They even made a special place for tourists to see how they built it, like a viewing deck and a hall with exhibits. So far, everything sounds really good. But there are a lot of problems when it comes to building something this big that has such a huge impact on people's lives. What are these problems? Even before they started building it, the people in charge guessed that thousands of cities, towns, and villages would end up underwater because of the big reservoir they were making. Because of this, about 1.4 million people had to move to higher places. The government gave them money and help to move, but some people said the new houses weren't very good, and there weren't enough important things like water and roads in the new places. People had to leave behind their homes, farms, and the places they lived. One more thing to think about is how the big dam on the Yangtze River has a really big and lasting impact on the environment and animals living around there. Like, since they built it, there have been a lot of landslides in the area, and that's already cost millions of dollars in damage. Plus, the Yangtze River used to have lots of different plants and animals, but now some of them are in danger of disappearing forever. For example, the dam might make the Chinese river dolphin and the Chinese paddlefish go extinct, although shipping also has something to do with it. Some people have doubts about whether the Three Gorges Dam can stop big floods, especially after the heavy rains in 2020. The Yangtze River got a lot of rain, more than it has in almost 60 years, and it caused the river to overflow. Over 150 people were either reported dead or missing because of this. This made people wonder if the Three Gorges Dam project is really good at preventing these kinds of disasters. There's something important to know about this big dam. When you first look at it, it seems like a calm lake in a beautiful place. But it's different from regular lakes because it only exists because of a huge dam. If by chance the dam were to break, a lot of water would rush downstream, destroying everything in its path. It would be really bad. Towns ruined, people hurt, and the landscape forever changed. More than 400 million people living near the Yangtze River would be in danger, and big cities like Wuhan and Shanghai would be at risk too. It would also be a disaster for China's economy. The engineers who built the dam know about this, and they regularly check it to make sure it's safe. But when some pictures from a satellite came out, people started worrying. These pictures showed the dam looking a bit different than before, and some people said they found cracks and bad concrete. But Chinese media said the pictures were wrong, and that the dam does change shape a little bit, but not as much as the pictures showed. So it's a complicated situation, but we should expect that keeping the dam safe is really important, especially to the people who built it. In simple terms, this dam has a big job. It's not just about being a great piece of engineering. It has to stop the power of nature for as long as there's water stored behind it. So what's going to happen to this project in the future? The power plant here can make a lot of electricity, up to 22.5 gigawatts on paper. But in reality, it only makes 45% of that. This happens because the amount of water flowing through the turbines changes with the seasons of the Yangtze River. Sometimes, a dam called Itaipu on the border of Brazil and Paraguay actually does better than the Three Gorges Dam. The place where the plant is now used to have the biggest waterfall in the world, but it got covered up with water after they made a big reservoir. Because of this, the water flow at Itaipu is always strong and steady. To make the Three Gorges Dam work even better, they've been looking into using artificial intelligence to make it produce more energy. They use information from the past about how much water flows in the Yangtze River to figure out how much power the dam can make in different seasons. They found that this can help the people who run the dam make it work better for a long time. They also plan to build special railways on both sides of the river to make it easier to move things from ships to trains and then to other ships on the other side of the dam. This will make it even more convenient to transport things across the dam, along with the ship locks and lift that are already there. The Three Gorges Dam is a big engineering project that people made. It's a symbol of what humans can do. What do you think about it? Do you think the good things it does are more important than the bad things? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching and subscribe to our channel now. See you in the next video soon.